Fellas, great series.
Awesome.
Thanks, man.
I don't know what John has, but it really does touch a pulse of what's needed at this time when it comes to television. What was it like to work with him and be able to develop the story?
He's incredible, Johnny
Yeah.
Norris. And with any production, the tone is set and starts from the top. Both he and our executive producer, Jason Seagraves, couldn't be nicer, more genial to work with. And because of that, that trickles down. And so everyone they cast and everyone we worked with had such a pleasant and positive experience throughout. And to your point, it is nice to see something these days that isn't just dark, that it's the kind of show that families could watch together. It's a really dynamic, coming of age, perfect summer show, really bingeable because each episode sort of is a cliffhanger that leads into the next. And so you want to keep watching. It hits all the beats that way.
Yeah, and I think like also like Johnny is so passionate about this show and he worked tirelessly to make sure that his vision came to life. And like whether he was in the editing room until like late at night or like he was and then he would come to set the next day and like be on set and making sure like, okay, cool, let's change this line, let's do this. Okay, let's try this. I have a few ideas. Like Johnny was always just there and making sure that like the show was the best it possibly could be. And I think that like even in the editing room, like he really was like a major through line in that. And like the show came out phenomenal. It's so sharp. There's not a bad piece of acting that made it through the edit at all. And like obviously everyone's incredible, but it's also just like, you never know what happens with editing. And I think that like Johnny really just made sure that the show is so tight and like exactly to his vision, which I really, really respect.
And to bring together an ensemble cast, which this is, of so many different people from so many different backgrounds, and have it be so instantly cohesive
Yep.
is really a testament to his direction.
Yeah, and watching the series, I was just like, you guys are just gelling
Hmm.
and going through the script. It's just
Which is
amazing.
not always a given.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. We've seen a lot of shows where that doesn't happen, and this show really does have that. Also, too, being a car guy, I have to talk about it. The cars really do play a lot to what the story is and how it really telling, because you're not seeing these modern vehicles, you're seeing this old school type, even though Toyota Supra back in the day doesn't seem old school to me, but it is.
Yeah. It's old school now. Yeah, I know. I totally
But
get you.
it's cool to tell that story and show it through the vehicles as well to really show that point in time.
Yeah, man. I think it's also just like it's such a signifier of like though that era of like of cars was so good. You know what I mean? Like I feel like we're in another golden age of like motorsports and cars right now. Like we have a lot of really great cars being made. But I think like 90s, specifically 90s, 80s was like, bro, we had some great freaking cars that were being made then. And the 70s too, because we had like all the big muscle cars and like we have that kind of era in there. So I feel like we have a lot of really interesting vehicles that are like that are in it. And I feel like everyone who likes cars, there's like a little bit of everything for them,
Yeah, throughout the season, you really do get to see everything from the supercars to, modified cars to stock cars to, I mean, it really does run the gamut once the season gets going.
Yep.
But clearly, Logan has an affinity for the classic cars, so you see a fair bit of those.
Exactly. And very quickly, before we let you go, which one off of the set would you take home? Which car?
I mean, I think for me, it would probably be my character's Mustang. I love that old Mustang.
Yeah, that was honestly, it was really cool. I think okay, there was this Chevelle that we had. I just remember that day. I'm more into like usually like into Japanese cars. Like I have a lot of JDM stuff. But like that day there's this beautiful Chevelle. It had like the scoop coming out the hood, and I was like, I would whip this car. Like I would love to have that car. Like just like imagine just driving through the streets of Los Angeles, just driving that Chevelle around. It was like I just feel like that'd be so cool.
Mhm.
Yeah, exactly. Fellas, thank you so much for stopping with us. Really appreciate it. And we can't wait
Thank
for
you.
everybody to see the show.
Thanks,
Thank you so
man. Take it
much.
easy.